Welcome to this month's GKW Safety Training Meeting. This month's training meeting is about stop work obligation. Everyone is responsible for everyone's safety. Let's look at our course objectives for this training meeting. First of all, let's talk about what is stop work obligation. Who is responsible for it? How do I stop work? What do I do? What don't I do? What can I expect if I do stop work? What reporting is needed after a stop work incident? And what will happen to me if I do stop work? So what is stop work? Stop work involves stopping, notifying, correcting, and resuming. Stop anytime safety concerns emerge. Notify all affected personnel and your supervisor. Correct the problem. Work will stop until all concerns are addressed. And then resume. Get back to the job you were doing beforehand. Whose responsibility is it to stop work at GKW? Well, it's not just the supervisors or the management. It is every employee. Let's look at the responsibility that every employee at GKW has for safety and stop work authorization. Employees have the responsibility to work safely in a safe environment. Employees are responsible to take a role in accident prevention. Employees are responsible to avoid unsafe conditions or practices. Employees are required to stop work when they anticipate harm being done to equipment, themselves, or to others. Employees are responsible to resolve the situation with supervision, and if the supervisor does not comply or ignores the situation, contact management. Let's look at what a supervisor's responsibility is when it comes to stop work authorization. Supervisors must insist on a safe environment for all work to be done. Anticipate and eliminate hazards before they arise. Listen and observe what employees are saying and what employees are doing. When work is stopped, supervisors must thank the one who stopped the work and affirm them for their concern about safety. Supervisors are also responsible for documentation and training following up after a stop work event. Supervisors are also responsible for continually updating employees about safety after stop work events happen. What is the management responsibility for stop work authorization? Managers are responsible to continually invest in a safe environment. Managers are responsible to clearly communicate safety as a priority at GKW. Managers will encourage stop work events. Managers are responsible for the administrative and the engineering controls. Administrative controls involve how to do our jobs in ways that are safer before we get started. Engineering controls when we provide better tools which are going to contribute to safety. Finally, managers are responsible to make sure that PPE are provided to every employee. Now, how does one stop work? Stop work when safety is compromised, whether that's unsafe conditions, unsafe actions, especially when there's a near hit or near miss incident. We want to make sure that we learn from those incidents or any job site emergency. How else do we stop work? Well, we stop work whenever changes occur. Conditions might change. The weather is constantly changing, and other conditions in the work area have a tendency to change from time to time. Whenever changes occur, a stop work event may be necessary. If there's ever additional work being done in an area with a new crew, a stop work event might be necessary to inform all of what new work is being done. Whenever there's a scope in work, a stop work event would be advised to inform all employees what new work will be done. And if there's ever a change in plan of approach to a certain job, a stop work event would be a good idea to get everybody on the same page. We'll look at some things not to do. Don't stop work when help is needed with a task individually. If one needs training with a certain tool or task, perhaps one needs another set of hands to do a job. This is not a reason to stop all work at the job site. And never stop work when it's simply a personal issue. If you see one person who is not properly wearing their PPE, this would not be an instance for stop work unless that person is in danger. Most PPE concerns can be addressed with the person one-on-one or with an appropriate supervisor. Never stop work in retaliation for someone who stopped work that you were doing. How do we approach a stop work event? First, stop whoever is in danger. If it's an employee or a group of employees. If you're unsure, you can always talk with a supervisor about your concern. Always keep it positive. We all want to be safe, and that's a positive thing for us to focus on. And also, whenever work is stopped, make sure this person who stops work is supported and thanked for their concerns. And then resume work as soon as you can do so safely. If I do stop work, what can I expect to happen? Well, first of all of your stop work concerns will be addressed. There will be coaching which will follow up with the ones who were stopped for unsafe work. And if you are the one who stopped the work, usually a coaching visit with a supervisor would be a good follow-up to discuss the stop work event and to see if any other concerns were missed. If there was any unnecessary stopping, this is always something that can be done on a coaching level, not as a reprimand. How can we do better next time? You will always encounter positive reinforcement for any stop work event. There will never be any retaliation or retribution if you do stop work. If you do stop work, you will be heard. You will be thanked. You might even be recognized or rewarded. At GKW, we are looking for those who are safety champions, who are always looking out for better ways to be safe. and you will never regret engaging in a stop work event. Your job will not be threatened, and our safety culture will only grow if we're all involved in it and make it priority. There will be reporting that follows up on any stop work event so that we know who was being unsafe, what was unsafe that was being done. We want to make sure that we take note of what was corrected, how long the stoppage took, and who contributed to returning to work safely. And always report any close calls. Look for patterns. Issues keep emerging. It might be an issue where additional training may be needed for everyone. So now you know that stop work is your obligation. If you are employed by GKW, we want you to know that you have not just the authority, but the obligation to stop work. We would rather you stop work and talk with you afterwards about why you stopped work than have you not stop work when you needed to and be talked to afterwards about why you didn't stop it. Now you know that everyone is responsible for safety at GKW. Everyone is responsible for everyone's safety. You know the do's and the don'ts of stop work authorization. And you know that when you do stop work, you know what you can expect. You can expect there will be positive follow-up, and there will be reporting that will follow up every stop work event. And if work stops, we know that we can all be safer at GKW. Thank you for